guys, my name is Garrett. I'm from Combat Abrasives. Along with me I have Andreas Kalani. He has developed a fantastic course for beginning hobbyists as well as just general knife makers that want to learn how to make a knife. And along the way we'll be using a lot of our Combat Abrasives materials, stretching from sanding belts, grease stick, erasers, leather belts, all of that good stuff. And I think Andreas really put together a fantastic course, and I'm looking forward to putting it together. So Andreas, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you did?
Thank you. Yeah, mainly this course is all about actually focusing for the knife beginners, the people that they just really like to making a knife, but they don't even know how to start it. And as a matter of fact, using the combat material as far as the belts and erasers and all that along the way, we're going to show them that how easy it is to get a hand onto this one if you're a hobbyist, if you're a beginner, or if you're just a person that you want to make one knife at the weekend. So this is how it's going to show it to you with the simplest way and stock removal method. We're going to develop one knife, and we'll show you the process along the way.
And you're also the sheath master too, so I'm looking forward to that part at the end.
Oh yeah, definitely. This course entirely is covering up everything. We have it from the actually beginning of creating, drawing a knife, all the way to heat treatment and going through the sheath making, and at the end even we're going to give them some tips and tricks how to get to the social media and how to run their own e-commerce. So this is entirely covering up everything, but it's all about the beginners and hobbyists.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Welcome to Class 1. So knife structure. In this place, we're going actually to talk about the knife anatomy and the diagram, and kind of like introduce you the area of the knife, and when you want to create these and how it's going to work and why you even making these. So as you see it, this is actually a full knife, and we have actually a full tang. So if you don't have a tang and it's getting cut out from this side, that means that there's a hidden tang is going to go inside and get hide out inside a block. In this scenario, we have a full tang. So the full tang is divided in a different area. This is the actual handle. We have a lanyard hole at the end that usually putting a paracord or any types of lanyard to it. We have several pins. You can use a variety pin. We're going to show you along the way. And as far as the blade itself, the section between the handle and to the actually edge line is called a ricasso area. So this is your ricasso. If anybody asks that, where is your ricasso? Ricasso is between the handle and your edge over here, which is your plunge lines. Under the plunge line, we have a sharpening choil. The reason that they put this choil over here is when you wanted to sharpen the knife, you wouldn't actually hurt the knife, and you're just perfectly having a steady and stream nice edge all across. And then we have our primary edge over here, which is actually, this is where you're cutting it with it. And then the line on the top of the primary edge is called bevel. And that bevel is actually identifying that we're going to go through that one later on. For the edge of the knife, we have variety from flat edge and compound, convex and concave, or chisel. Different style you can grind this area and get your bevel out of it. On top of the bevel, we have a swedge or a false edge. So that not always is sharpened, but you can also sharpen that one. So normally for the combat knives, for something that is going to be for hunting, certain hunting knives, they have a double-sided sharpen, but normally people, they put that one for a glamour, and it just shows the craftsmanship that how you can precise the edges on both sides. So this is pretty much the diagram of the knife, and we're going to have it in a depth, and if you would like, we have it in the PDF mode that you can download it later on and use it. All right, one of the most important thing actually in any type of a craft is that first thing first, you need to learn how to draw. And I definitely recommend that. Not even is fun for the hobby timing when you want to do something, but it's better for you to learn the structure, the actually geometry and everything. So it's better for you to see it first on the paper before started cutting any steel or going through it. So in this scenario, we're just actually trying to draw a knife that we're going to stock remove it. And just putting based on the diagram that we showed you, we're going to put all the structure together and we're going to make our prototype. You definitely need to make sure that you have all your measurement correctly. And one of the most important part is to study the diagram really well and to know where to put what technically. So in this case, I'm measuring my handle center, and I want to make sure that all my holes in the center of the handle, you just don't want to have it above the line or below the line. And you're just measuring that one and started to actually putting your hole. Again, as just a drawing, if I don't like it, I see it over here, I can remove it. If you drill it, you cannot put back the actual steel. So you're kind of like organizing your lines and everything. That's where you're going to be ready for the prototype. All right, so as you saw, these are all the prototypes throughout the years that I built it for different types of projects. It's always beneficial to have a prototype, because then you can adjust to see that what you like, what size it is, and how it's comfortable in your hand. And sometimes you have to tailor it for a certain hand size. You know, if you want to make a knife for a family, friends, or someone, so you wanted to make sure that the hands fitting it, that's where the prototype coming in, because not all the hand sizes are the same. So in the next process, we're going to show you that how we're going to make that prototype by using the combat abrasive belts and the stock removing the plywood, and to just make our final prototype. All right, so as you saw in a previous section, we actually draw the knife on the paper and we glue that one on a small little piece of plywood. And the reason is that when we're going to make a prototype. Why are we making a prototype? We just want to make sure that everything is correct. When we're holding a knife in our hand, we're feeling comfortable. So if we need to do adjustment, that's the time that we're going to apply the adjustment. But for the start, we're going to use the actual prototype in a small little plywood, and then after that, apply this over the steel. So at Combat Abrasive, they have a capability to build any type and any size of the belt you wanted. In this scenario, for making actually a prototype, we're going to use our 2x48 Craftsman machine. And we have actually a 36 grit, 60 grit, and 80 grit in this process. And I use this machine for variety work, for the actually handle. I want to make him flat out or different types of stuff. So I use this machine as well. I just want to show you that any type of a machine that you have doesn't matter. You just contact Combat Abrasive and they can build those belts for you. So here's actually how we're going to make the prototype off of the 60 grit with this project. So first thing first, make sure you're always using your safety glasses, your respirator, and you know you're using a different types of material. You don't have it in your throat. I don't need to go through the detail. You guys know about the safety. So here we go. We have this, and we're going to actually entirely make a good prototype out of this one. Alright, so now that we actually ground out the profile of the knife in the plywood that we had it, so now we're going to actually smooth out all the corners that we wanted to do. So in this scenario, I'm using actually a file to make my finger grip actually smooth out, round out, so it makes sure it's comfortable when I'm holding it in my hand. Now that we're done with the profiling of the prototype, everything is done and we have our plywood ready. And I used actually 3/16 holes for my pins and 1/4 inch for my lanyard hole. The finger area is pretty comfortable. I put 1 finger and 3 others just holding the actual grip, and I feel pretty much comfortable in this blade right now, and I'm happy with the profile. Now it's a good time to get started on the steel.